Hi, this is a little video I made to explain something that took a little time to dawn on me, which is why you would bother to toggle flight assist off and then probably on again in Elite Dangerous. And the short answer is for maneuverability, and also to spend more time pointing at a target in a dogfight situation. But possibly you would use it just to be maneuverable, perhaps to evade a difficult situation. But before I get too into the flight assist question, I thought it would be useful to briefly review some of the basics of flight and movement in a 3D situation like space flight. So if you're already familiar with the concepts of translation in 3 dimensions and rotation in 3 dimensions, and if you know what flight assist is, then you can probably skip this section and go straight to the part where I explain why you would use flight assist. I would first of all say I'm by no means an expert pilot, as will become apparent. I'm also using an Xbox controller, finding it a little bit of a challenge to get the kind of accuracy and control I want. Apparently a good joystick setup is probably best, but I don't know, I'm gonna stick with it for a little while and see if I can get good control with the Xbox controller, because it's just so convenient and comfortable to just sit back with a controller and have pretty much everything available. So first of all, here we are in a ship, and translation. What's translation? Well, translation is moving the whole ship in one direction, if you like, along one axis. So the obvious one is the throttle. You can go backwards and you can go forwards. Pretty simple, right? That's translation of the whole ship forwards and backwards. Now, of course, there's also translation upwards and downwards. That's upwards, whole ship, and that's downwards. And that leaves just one more translation, which is, of course, sideways right, sideways left. Fair enough, you can move around in 3D using just translation. The problem is, of course, you won't be able to point at anything in particular. You would be facing the same direction all the time. And that's why we have rotation. So we have pitch, up and down, and we have rotation. And there's also yaw, which of course is turning left and right, which I have disabled. Now, why would I have that disabled? Well, because I've got a gamepad, and my left joypad controller controls rotation. Now, I can use yaw. I can go to here, just flick to control pad with yaw. When I go back, I should now rotate left and right. Now you can see an obvious issue there straight away. Let's actually get out of these asteroids and I'll demonstrate something. Let's try going forwards, that might improve matters. Okay, so I'll try not to hit the asteroids because that's generally bad. Flight assist's on as default, and as you can see, the throttle is set into the blue range there, which means we're at maximum maneuverability. Roll. Let's just do a roll. Pretty quick, right? Let's pitch upwards. Go all the way around, using the planet as a reference. Okay, that's somewhat slower. And now let's just yaw, in other words, turn left. Okay, you get the picture. Yaw is pretty slow. It's not a great way to maneuver in a dogfight. Just turning left or right is not going to cut it. I mean, we must be looking at about 20 seconds here. So you're not going to turn left or right in a dogfight. You're probably going to be dead by the time you come round, and your opponent's definitely not going to be sitting there in front of you. So we don't use yaw in normal flight. What we do is, if we want to turn right, we roll and then we pitch. It's way quicker. Why? Why have they made the game like that? Well, apparently there's a gameplay reason, which roughly translated I think means if you allow equal speed rotation, especially on yaw, you could end up with some pretty boring gameplay where people kind of sit still and just turn on the spot, or other kind of tricks or exploits. So it's made more like an aeronautical model. It also makes a kind of sense, because if you think about the G-forces, turning fast to the left would be very uncomfortable. You'd be thrown sideways in your seat. Controlling joysticks would be painful and awkward. Rotating and then pulling up is a quick sideways nudge and then a downwards G-force, which pretty much means you can keep control, and is why I think you see that in, you know, Star Wars and so forth. If you think about TIE fighters, they're pretty much always turning like this. So that's the basics of maneuvering with flight assist on. Flight assist, you may not realize it, but it's doing quite a lot of stuff. When you pull up, it's not just rotating the ship. It's rotating the ship and providing an upwards thrust. It's also, when you let the joystick or the joypad center, stabilizing. It's providing counter thrust, in this case downwards, to put us back on a straight line. I'm going to demonstrate flight assist off, but before I do that, I'm going to just jump out and show you the way I normally set up my gamepad. So I think I'll have to set it up again. So here's the normal control pad settings. I'm going to keep it pretty much as it is, because now it's switched back to no yaw and replaced the yaw on my right pad with the lateral thrust, so that moves the whole ship left or right. The only thing I need to add is toggle flight assist, and I'm going to use a press down on the left joypad. And now, so here we are, we're flying along, and I'm probably going to cause problems here when I'm going to go towards asteroids. Let's turn flight assist off, and let's put in some lateral thrust, some pitch, some roll, downwards again, go right and go up. Now the problem we've got here is we're now spinning uncontrollably. There's no stabilization. I don't really actually know what my vector is, apart from I was heading towards the asteroids, so I pretty much know that's a problem. Also, changing throttle settings is a problem now, because the throttle is now confused, or more accurately providing throttle in various directions, and it's going to take me quite some time to sort out the spin, the roll, the forwards, the backwards momentum, and get stable. Or I can just toggle flight assist on again, and there we are. Now I'm going level and forwards again. So why would you want to do that? Why would you want to turn flight assist off if it gets you into that kind of trouble? Well, this is the simple answer. Maneuverability. Let's just turn it off and just roll. So we're actually still going in the other direction. Turn it on again, and now we're going back. So we've just managed to change direction without moving up or down. We just turned on the spot. Now that's pretty cool. Okay, so aside from offering the opportunity for flashy cool maneuvers, or in my case wild uncontrollable maneuvers, let's talk about the practicalities, the practical applications of toggling your flight assist on and off and on. I've got a waste canister targeted here, and I've given myself a little bit of a run up, and I'm going to approach it slowly, imagining that it's an onrushing ship firing at me. And I'm going to use a very simple maneuver, which I'll have to do quite slowly because obviously the ship is not rushing towards me, to demonstrate what I mean. Flight assist off, little bit of downwards lateral movement, and then roll very slowly, keeping it in my field of vision. Flight assist on again, and now I'm going back towards it, which, although I couldn't have really shot at that, you can see gave me the opportunity to keep the ship or waste canister in my field of view, which really is a useful technique for dogfighting. I guess I could try that again. Maybe try a barrel roll turn this time, which is even more difficult, and I'll probably make a complete hash of. A barrel roll turn will give you, theoretically, a quicker turn, as well as the opportunity to keep on target. It's going to be very difficult to do this slow, but let's try it. So, flight assist off, a little bit of sideways lateral movement, roll, and pitch. And flight assist back on. Okay, not brilliant, but again, you get the kind of idea. Now you can go ahead and practice on some rocks. I would advise not doing that if you're in the full game, however, as obviously repairs and so forth on your ship are going to be expensive, or they're going to cost you money. In the alpha, it doesn't really matter because I can just start again with a new ship. No big deal. So let's try it in a combat situation. That should be a giggle. Okay, so here we are going into a one-on-one with a Sidewinder. Now, I don't know how clear this is going to illustrate the advantages of toggling flight assist on and off, but I'll try. I think at least you should get the idea, even if I haven't yet really got an idea, if you know what I mean. But anyway, let's do this. So, guns out. Here comes the culprit. Targeted. He's going to come straight for me. And now let's just slow down and turn conventionally. It works well enough. He's coming back at me again. I'm going to have to slow down again. Try and get on his tail. All well and good. His AI is dumb enough that I'm probably going to get away with it. You know, with 2 or 3 ships, however, just doing this, I'm going to leave myself vulnerable to getting someone else on my tail, to having to slow down a lot, leaving myself a target to other ships while I'm working on one. So let's go ahead and let's let him get some range, actually. Okay, now he's shooting at me. Now he's gone past me. Okay, so he's going to come towards me. Flight assist off. Bit of a barrel roll. Flight assist back on. Nice. On his tail. That actually worked reasonably well. Still can't kill him, mind, but hopefully you could see the idea. Flight assist off. Flight assist on. Oh damn, I should have hit him a lot more. Flight assist off. On. I mean, you can see it gives you the opportunity for some pretty high speed maneuvers, actually. Which I'm really not pulling off very well here. Flight assist off. On. Off. On. Okay, that worked.